We just came back from our first visit to Christopher Ward's brand new HQ in Maidenhead. There, we saw some incredible stuff. Some we can talk about, but others we can't. And in this video, we're going to have a quick look behind the scenes at Britain's premier watchmaker and also have hands-on time with their first major launch of 2025, the reimagined C65 Dune watches. So let's start first with the office tour. Last year we interviewed the team at CW whilst they were still in their old building, which was way too small for the explosive growth this company has experienced in the last couple of years. The new office is so much bigger, and at the moment Christopher Ward spans over 2 floors. On the ground floor we can find dispatch and logistics, customer service and QC. Before a watch makes its way to you, first it goes through the QC room, where there are 2 or 3 people who spend a few minutes checking if everything is working as it should. After the watch passes the quality control, then it goes into dispatch. If you've bought the watch on a bracelet and have specified your wrist size, then a member of staff will adjust the metal bracelet for you before the watch gets packed and then shipped to you. Because Christopher Ward sells so many watches, inevitably some watches come back either to be serviced or repaired. That's why upstairs there is a state-of-the-art watch clinic where watchmakers work on fixing and maintaining the watches. Unlike the old place, the new office is spacious enough for all of the watch benches to be in the same room. The environment is clinical and climate controlled, as they don't want any contaminants inside. In the watch clinic there are all sorts of machinery, time graphers, pressure chambers, watch winders and more. The company has definitely invested a lot into this part of the business. And if you want to invest in your watch collection without spending a ton of money on new watches, why not check out the WatchGecko website? We have a huge range of watch straps and accessories. Whether you need to replace a broken strap or you just want to change the look of your watch, we got you covered. Visit watchgecko.com and explore our ever-growing range of products. The next thing we saw was their open plan office. There are a few meeting rooms where there is a bit more privacy, but generally most people are out in the open plan space. This setup encourages more conversations and collaborations, and that's exactly why in the middle of the room there is a creative hub, a big table where staff can gather and even phone in their Swiss counterparts to discuss ideas and designs. Around the office, it's evident that CW cares about its past and future. Scattered on the walls are some of the biggest milestones for the company from the last 20 years. But also there is Patrick's Wall of Inspiration, where people can put a clipping of the timepieces that are pushing the boundaries of watchmaking. We didn't just randomly go to Christopher Ward's office, we were actually invited for the pre-launch event of their new Dune collection of watches. The event was for press and loyal customers who can be trusted not to leak any details. The event was hosted in their kitchen/canteen area, which, if I may add, is a really nice place. There were a few dozen people that came to hear the story of the new Dune watches and then ask questions. After the presentation, it was finally time to see the new collection. We then headed to the showroom area where on suspended tables, people could have hands-on with the watches and see which one they like best. Will Brackfield, the senior designer at CW, was also right there if you wanted to chat with him about the new design of the watches. Okay, finally it's time to look at the watches more in depth. And if you like the recap of our visit to Christopher Ward, feel free to subscribe to the WatchGecko channel. The bigger the channel gets, the more likely it will be for us to then go and make more of these little behind the scenes documentaries. So thank you for your support. Starting with the classic Dune Aeolian collection, there are 4 dials: Silica Grey, Eve Blue, Maram Green and White Sand. Whether you go for canvas, leather or metal strap, all versions come under 1,000 British pounds. Next up is the Dune Aeolian Bronze collection, which costs a little bit more due to the bronze case and also the COSC certified movement. Here you have 2 dials, Dusk Brown and Maram Green. If you love patina, you can go for the bronze bracelet option, which does look cool. Last but not least, the Dune Aeolian GMT in White Sand and Eve Blue. Here you get a Swiss GMT movement starting at just under 1,000 pounds and going up to 1160 on the Badr bracelet. I mentioned Aeolian, and if you are a simpleton like myself, well, this term comes from Aeolus, the Greek god of wind. Aeolian patterns are small wave-like ridges formed on sandy surfaces by the wind. You can see that pattern on the classic and bronze watches. The GMT dial is already busy enough, so adding that pattern would have made it illegible. Speaking of the GMT, the most notable difference between the old and new White Sand model is the second sand. The trident counterbalance has been removed, streamlining the design, and that is true of the whole collection. All models are similar in size, coming in at 38mm case diameter and a 12mm height. The watches feel comfortable on the wrist, and one of the ideas behind this collection was to create a unique field watch. And I think the team has achieved that. All watches have a water resistance of 150 meters, a screw-down crown, and a clear sapphire casebacks. The indices and hands are filled with X1 Superluminova, so visibility at night shouldn't be a problem. The classic models come with a standard Sellita SW200-1 movement. The bronze models come with the SW200 COSC certified version. The GMT models have the SW330-2 and a 56 hours of power reserve. Personally, I find their new Aeolian pattern dial fascinating. I love unique dials, and I think they've done a great job creating a three-dimensional texture dial. In the presentation, Will talked about the challenges of creating the right pattern and then manufacturing the tooling to mass produce these dials. We had a limited time with the watches on the day, but we have requested a couple of samples to be sent to our office, so we can actually spend more time filming and wearing these models. I think if I were to pick my favorite Dune model, I'm probably split between the Eve Blue and the White Sand automatic watches. I think it's 51% White Sand and 49% Eve Blue. But anyway, it's that wavy pattern dial that has got me mesmerized. With that said, which is your favorite model? Let us know in the comments below. And if you wonder what to watch next, the YouTube algorithm suggests this video. I'm Mario, and this was WatchGecko's first look at Christopher Ward's brand new HQ and their first major release of 2025. See you in the next video.